Hey guys, and welcome back to another Escape Wheel Watch review. Today we're looking at the Parnis DateJust Homage. You can get this at the Parnis official store. Prices range from $99 to $109. I've seen them drop to about $90, I think. So they don't go on big sales or anything like that. So yeah, I think if you're ready to purchase, $100 is not a bad price to pull that trigger on. I'll leave the link down in the description there. A big thank you to Pierce Fierce. So Pierce got in touch with me on Instagram and asked me if I would like to review one of his watches or a couple of his watches. And obviously I said yes. So a huge thank you to Pierce for sending this along, as well as we've got a Fleet of Deep Sea coming up on their channel. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, thanks a lot to Pierce. I'll leave his Instagram down below if you want to check it out. He's not it's not a watch account or anything like that, but I figured I'd at least leave it down there for you guys. So again, big thank you to Pierce. But let's get into the review. First, we'll start off with the dimensions. Case diameter is 39.4. Case thickness is 12.3. We've got 20 millimeter lug width. You have 47.2 lug tip to lug tip. And then with the bracelet, with the protruding end links, overall length is 51.1. So it's a nice wearable size. The thinness, I think they listed as 13.8. That's got to be to that Cyclops. It's definitely 12.3. So it's nice and thin, super thin. Nice profile on it as well. I'm going to go outside right now and throw it on the wrist for you guys. So here it is on my 7 1/4 inch wrist. You can see it wears just great, I think. You got lots and lots of play off of that bezel. Bracelet is very comfortable, fits me nicely. See, nice and slim profile on the wrist there. I mean, that looks excellent. Yeah, I'm loving the case on this thing. Let's go out and get you some sunlight here. So here it is in some direct sunlight, and as you can see, that dial is playing beautifully with the light there. Still lots and lots of bling on this thing. It's a bling machine, that's for sure. So there's some direct sunlight on the dial there. No anti-reflective coating, but obviously you can still read it fine. Not a big deal, I don't think. So I'm going to go throw this on a few straps for you guys, and then we'll get back to the review. Here it is on a gray Vario leather strap. Looking really good. See all that sparkle from the bezel. I think the colors on this combo really go well together. Gray strap with the gray dial. I think it looks excellent. So here it is on a vintage brown strap from Vario again. Looking really good, I think. I think I'd like the gray one a little bit better, but this one actually looks pretty good still. Let me know what you guys think. I'm going to go inside, throw in one last strap, and we'll get back to this review. So here's the last strap. This is just a 2-stitch leather strap from Cheapest NATO Straps. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Still like that gray one the best, but let me know what you guys think. But let's go back inside. We will get back to this review. So let's talk about the case finishing on this. It's a completely polished case, really nicely done actually. I'm fairly impressed with the finishing on this thing. Nicely done. There's no funhouse effect or anything like that. Nice sharp lines on the tops here. Really nicely done. Very impressed. The profile, the slim profile on this thing, it looks great. It's one of my favorite cases I've worn in a while. So yeah, really nicely done. You can see it's not a straight side. It's nicely rounded there. So it gives a nice reflections on it. The case back, it's a circular brushed case back, and the actual case back itself, it's a screw down case back, Rolex style. It's got a vertical brushing with some polishing on it. I wish they would just get rid of these things and go with a traditional case back, but yeah, it is what it is. I'm kind of used to them now. I don't like using them, but I can at least get them open if I need to. The bezel on this one, like I said, you have an option of this fluted bezel, you have a smooth bezel, and then you have they call it an engraved bezel. It's kind of halfway in between a smooth and a engraved or fluted. I'm not a fan of that one, but I do really like this one. So as you can see here, this is rose gold tone. They do sell it with just stainless steel. But yeah, it looks really good. The rose gold is done in a plating. It's not a PVD coating. So just keep that in mind. This has been in Pierce's collection for about a year, he said, and it's gotten a lot of wrist time. So it's held up actually really well. I'm pretty impressed with the finishing on it, even after a year. So yeah, I'd say buy with confidence. You do have a rose gold crown at the 3 o'clock position, and it is nicely signed with that Parnis P. And it's a little tiny crown, but it works with the case size, I think. The crystal on this, it's a flat sapphire crystal. It protrudes ever so slightly from that bezel. It looks really good. There's no anti-reflective coating on it, which is to be expected at this price point. You do have a Cyclops at the 3 o'clock position. It's centered in there nicely. I think it looks pretty good. The magnification is maybe, it might be 2x, leaning somewhere in between 1.5 and 2x magnification. So I'd like to see a little bit better on that, but it's not horrible. The dial on this one, so this is the gray dial. It looks absolutely gorgeous. It's a beautiful sunburst dial, as you can see here. It changes from a gray to kind of a brownish color. It looks really, really good. I like this more than the pictures are on online. So yeah, it looks really, really good. So this is the Roman numeral version. They also have just a regular baton style dial as well. So you got lots of options. I think the applied indexes are done really well. Nicely centered, nicely aligned. This 4 o'clock one might be ever so slightly off, but I don't notice it when it's on wrist. So the only time I really notice it is when I get nice and close like this. I still can't even tell if it's off or not, but I think it's done really well. The printing on it is excellent. I see no smudges or anything like that. So really happy with the printing. You got this nice white printed minute tracker on the outside, and then automatic, water resistant, 21 joules. So water resistant. This is a 30 meter water resistant watch. It's probably maybe a little bit more than that, but obviously it's a dress watch. You're not really going to get it close to water. You got that simple printed Parnis at the top there. Everything looks really, really good. The handset on this might be a tad short. You can see, I wish it would reach all the way out to the minute track. It doesn't look bad, but it could definitely be better. There is a little bit of loom on the hour and minute hand, but it's pretty much non-existent. I'm not even going to show a loom shot because it's that bad. So there's no loom on the dial. And yeah, just keep that in mind. It has loom, but it's worthless. The dial on this, like I said, this is the gray version. They sell it in all sorts of colors. So red, orange, green, like a baby blue color, black, silver, dark sunburst blue, brown. If you can think it, they probably have the color. And then they also have, like I said, this Roman numeral as well as the just applied stick indexes. So lots and lots of choices. And I think you're going to find one that you like because there's just so many to choose from, which is really, really cool. And yeah, I like this version that Pierce picked out. I think it looks really, really good. I'm not a big two-tone fan, but this one, it just works for me. Let's talk about the movement inside. So like I said, you have two options here. For $99, you have the Mingzhu 2813, and then for $109, you have the Miyota 8215, which is what this one's running. It's operated by this 3 o'clock screw-down crown. Nice screw-down action. The crown is a little tiny, like I mentioned earlier, but it works. Nice and grippy. You do get a nice satisfying pop-out. The first position, hand winds it. Second position, changes the date. Everything working pretty good. Third position on this version does not hack. So I think the Miyota has been updated to add hacking, but that was done like 2 years ago, and this is only a year old, so you still might get one that doesn't hack, and that kind of bothers me. It's one of the 3 things that really bother me about the Miyota movement and why I refuse to buy one. And this kind of reminds me why I don't like that movement. So no hacking on this version. You might get one, you might not. I don't know. Depressing the crown, goes right back in there. Everything is working really good. It's been accurate for me. Yeah, I've got no real problems with the movement as far as accuracy goes. My big problem is the rotor. Let's see if you can hear it here. Hopefully you could hear that. So it's a single direction winding rotor. So it only winds when the rotor spins in one way. If you get the rotor going the other way, it wobbles, it whirls. You can feel it on the wrist. You can actually see it shaking the head of the watch. So that's one of the things I really don't like. And then let's see if I can get it to work. Watch that second hand. See how it stopped there? right there. So if you shake it a little bit, that second hand stops, and that's the Miyota shuffle is what they call it. It doesn't damage the movement. It just stops the second hand for a second. I'm not sure why it does that, but it does it. So if you're kind of working hard with this watch, you might notice it losing a few seconds a day more than normal because of that. So just keep that in mind. For those reasons, I pretty much refuse to buy a Miyota. I know they're reliable, but I've also had no problems with the Mingzhu 2813. So, and that one actually does have hacking, and it's a little bit quieter, I think. So let's talk about the bracelet on this thing. So we have a 20 millimeter bracelet, tapers down to 16. You get a brushed clasp with the Parnis P on it. It's a double pusher, as you can see here. It's nice and secure. This clasp has been around for a while. I'm very familiar with it. It takes some getting used to get it over the wrist. This connection point here usually is on the outside of the releases here. But Parnis, for some reason, decided to go with this design. It makes it just a little bit harder to get over the wrist. Once it's over your hand, it's fine. I've got no problems with the clasp. It's nice and secure, like I said. Pretty comfortable. There's no sharp edges or anything like that. Polishing is done nicely. You do have 3 micro adjusts here. You also have a easy link extension there, which is nice to see. The bracelet itself, it fits really nicely. So you got a nice solid end link, nice fitment, nice contouring to the case. I think they did a really good job on this. You've got solid end links, solid links, screw pins for adjusting. Those worked fine for me. Yeah, everything is done nicely. Really nice satin brushing on the outer links. Polished on the sides here. Everything's rounded nicely. It's a very comfortable bracelet. I'm pretty pleased with the bracelet on this thing. My only real nitpick on it is the middle polished links. You can see if I can show you guys. They're just not polished up to like the standards of the case. So it's gonna be hard to show because it's so minimal. But so there you can see on that second link there. See the black line there? You can see how it's not really smooth. It's kind of got little spikes in it. So that's just an indication of a poor polishing job. It's not poor. It's just not as good as the case. So just keep that in mind. I think it's fine. It looks great on the wrist. You're really not going to notice that. As far as quality control issues, I didn't see any. Everything works as it should. It's pretty simple case design. The only real quality control issues you have on these things are like poor fitting end links and weird clasps. So everything came out pretty good on this guy. So there you have it. That's the Parnis DateJust, and I think it's great. Definitely, if you are interested in this, I'm going to be leaving a link down below. Check out their site. Check out all the options you have. You have so many options. There's got to be close to, I don't know, 60 options as far as configuring one of these things. So yeah, just check them out. Lots and lots of options. Very cool watch. I've actually enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would, and mostly due to the case profile on this thing. I think it's great. If you want to see some more pictures of this, obviously this one won't be staying in my collection. This is going to go back to Pierce, but I'll put a couple straps on it, I think, and post a couple pictures to my Instagram. So I'll leave that down below. If you guys enjoyed the video, found it helpful, found it useful, leave me a thumbs up. And subscribe if you haven't already. We're getting really close to 1,000 subscribers. I've got a couple watches possibly for giveaway. I definitely have one watch for giveaway, so I'm trying to get another one. So we'll see if that comes in. But if you guys want to leave a question or a comment, drop them down below. I will be sure to get back to you guys. But I think that's it. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.